morning, everybody. How you doing? It is Tuesday, May the 26th, in the Big 2-6. You guys know the year, the Big 2-6. Jahmyr Gibbs, 2,600 all-purpose yards and 26 touchdowns. Aiden Hutchinson, 26 sacks. 26 in the Big 2-6. How you guys doing? It's James with the Hat and Beard Show. In case you didn't catch Lions Live last night, we had ourselves a wonderful conversation over there with Mike at Lions Live. If you got it, second, if you haven't already, I don't know how many of you guys aren't already fans of his or subscribed to him. Go check him out, dude. Subscribe to Lions Live over there. Mike's a really, really good dude. And, if any of you guys are here from last night, welcome. We had a massive uptick in subscribers, so I appreciate the support from the Lions community, you guys. We got a few more weeks here left of the morning show before we be transitioning on over to the evening show on June the 8th. We will be doing our thing here. So first and foremost tonight, we're going to be leading off with Jason Kelce saying Sunday is the NFL. We're getting away from that a little bit. Jason Kelce kind of saying what look, I'm not gonna dwell on it too hard, but yeah, there's a huge percentage of the Hat and Beard that doesn't like all of these non-Sunday games. Like I like Monday Night Football, right? Monday Night Football is a thing. But honestly, guys, I could do without Thursday Night Football, if I'm being honest. It is a sub-prime product that I have to pay prime price for in prime time. I'm not too wild about it. So Jason Kelce taking a bit of a stance, and then I did a little bit of sleuthing to see if the Kelce brothers have disagreeing opinions, and it's kind of a compare and contrast to the mentality of the two Kelce brothers, just to kind of buckle that together. Then we're going to shift gears on over to the 313, in case you guys didn't know. Training OTAs, organized team activities, starts tomorrow. 5-2-7. We'll start the first phase of OTAs. We have 4 advantages going into the 2026 season, guys. Right there, I said not too long ago that we are so close to football getting underway. It's really not that long if you actually look at how things are structured and how we all here in Mad Hatter Nation consume content, right? So we can start to kind of look ahead. What might the Detroit Lions have as far as an advantage heading into the 2026 season, right? No mini camps. How are we structuring OTAs? The strength of schedule, perhaps. Also, I don't know if it's just me or if you guys are picking up on it too, but does the team not feel different this year? Does it not feel like maybe kind of got back to that grittiness that Dan Campbell originally had when he showed up? That being out of the spotlight now, the team has. I don't want to be that guy, man, but I really feel like this is our year to make a Super Bowl run. I really think that the Lions have a road that can go directly to the Super Bowl. And A to Z Sports, the slipper, Mike Payton's got 4 big advantages the 2026 Lions have, and somehow nobody's talking about them. We'll see what that has for us. Then we're going to go right over to the Pride of Detroit. Most interesting players to watch during OTAs. Now, I want you guys to go ahead and comment down below when we get into the section. Seriously, let me know what you guys are thinking about in the OTAs. What are you looking for? Is there anything, impactful, anything specific? I don't want to hear Larry Borum and Blake Miller. Are there for me it's like Abney and McCreary. Where's Abney going to go? Is Rakestraw going to be up to speed? What does the defensive end rotation kind of look like? How are things going to shake up? Do we even see an implementation of what is theorized to be the new look defense? What all happens there? Let me know down in the comments, guys, as we're going along. And then a guy that I just can't stop being fascinated about, that's Keith Abney, right? And apparently we're all thinking about it. The more I talk to people, the more I'm like, oh, shit, we all are high on Keith Abney. Tim 2021 man has an article for us just this morning about Keith Abney, comfortable playing outside and nickel. We will discuss all of that and more. Taking your chats, it's the Hat and Beard Show. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Ring that notification bell so you can be notified every single time we go live, Monday through Friday, currently 10 to 11 a.m. until June 8th. And then, of course, like the video, share it around with all of your friends. Do that thing and that stuff and that stuff and that thing. I want to give a big shout out to Rumble and Kick. I know you guys are down there kicking and rumbling around. I'm not just ignoring you for YouTube, but YouTube's got a lot more viewers than you guys do right now. So just kind of get them numbers up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to hand over to my guy Jocko and we'll get into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
Jason Kelce says the Sunday is the NFL. We're getting away from that a little bit. Well, I mean, that's what Sunday really is. But that being said, I get what he means. You know, Sunday, yeah, you don't want to be, dude. Especially recently with like the job that I will be leaving, it's kind of a pain in the keister when you don't have when you work afternoons or evenings, right? These weekday primetime games, and if you want to watch your team, then you got to schedule. It's a pain in the keister, dude. I think Sundays, rock solid. It's Sundays are for football, dude. You know what I'm saying? Get up, go to church, come home, have a little digital tailgate with the Mad Hatter Nation. And then you just watch football all day. You know what I'm saying? That's what Sunday should be about. I don't mind a little Monday night football. You know what I'm saying? All my rowdy friends are here for Monday night. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. But when you get into the Thursday night games, and when we're getting into the holiday games, dude, nothing like I'll give you Dallas and Detroit on Thanksgiving. Chaps my ass about the Christmas games, dude. Really chaps my ass, dude. But I'm, 38 going on Paul Harvey. The NFL has been slicing away games from Sunday afternoon in an effort to create more standalone windows. That trend has prompted concerns that at some point it will go too far. There's a delicate balance to strike. It's nice to have more occasions to watch one game and only one game. But it's also nice to have a robust slate of Sunday afternoon games. Yes, I would much rather have more games to pick from on a Sunday night game than have to sit there and watch, AFC North showdown between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns, Week 12. You know what I'm saying, dude? I don't want that. On some weekends, the balance will be out of whack. Week 17, for example, has 8 standalone contests. Christmas Eve, 3 games on Christmas Day, 2 on the next day, Sunday night and Monday night. Well, that's just absolutely disgusting. Nope. I'm not here for that. 3? 3 heads I could understand, but 9? Shout out if you catch that reference. That leaves only 8 games for the entirety of Sunday afternoon. Wow. So not only will you be burnt out from all of the other games and family festivities, you get to recoup and get ready for the upcoming week with Slopfest 2026. The real question is how many games are enough for Sunday to still feel like Sunday. Jason Kelce recently added the issue on New Heights podcast. Sunday is the day for football, right? Kelce said via Sam Newman of Awful Announcing. Outside of going to church in the morning, you're still religious, and you do that. Sunday is like where so many games happen, and that's where you grow up, and you gear your entire week around watching football on Sunday. Hey, at least he gives a little bit of a tip of the hat to us religious folk. Okay, go to church in the morning if you're still religious. Well, you should be religious. In fact, I'm so sick and tired. Dude, I don't understand why we have to live in a society where it's weird for someone to believe in God. Dude, you should be weird for not believing in God. I shouldn't have to prove to you the existence of God. You should have to prove to me the inexistence of God, and it's not possible. It's an institution that at this point, the NFL playing games on Sunday, with every day that we keep adding in there, we're getting away from that just a little bit. And I worry that the game got too big, or got big. One of the reasons it got so popular and big was because it was an event. Yes, it was yes, it too much of a good thing, dude. Yes, 100%. Yes, it builds a little bit more anticipation. You don't have that, Thursday night relief valve. You don't have that one-off, Saturday, random ass Saturday, slate of games. Having it on Sunday, you build, and then it's almost like a ceremonial situation. It's like a pilgrimage to the couch every Sunday to plant myself in my preformed butt seat. You know what I'm saying, dude? I don't like this. There's a certain irony to the comment. Kelce works at ESPN, who puts him on the pregame show for one of the games that's been peeled away from the Sunday slate, and his podcast is distributed by Amazon, which is one of the other game, or which has one of the other games that used to be played on Sundays. Yes, he's still, he can say I don't like it while collecting his big old fat Jason Kelce-sized paycheck. His relationship with ESPN and Amazon opened the door for the league to gripe, if it so chooses, to his bosses about the opinions regarding the delusion of Sunday football. Not that he should care about that, because the observation is an obvious one. Sunday is the traditional day for pro football. I agree. But the NFL is now big enough to overcome traditions. No, you're not. Stop it. Get some help. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel, dude. The NFL is big enough to make new traditions that none of us like. I mean, let's be honest. What new traditions do you guys like in the NFL? Huh? Do you guys like the international games? Do you like having to get up, like our guy Derek over there on the West Coast, eating pancakes and watching football on Sunday mornings? That's weird. Not my cup of tea, man. No, I like it the way that I like it. I don't like these new traditions, dude. I don't like it. I want my football to be on where I can consume it easily, dude. It is the biggest brand in the world, right? You put the shield on anything and it sells. So just make it as easily accessible and consumable to as many people as possible. Putting things behind paywalls is just elitist behavior. And I understand you want to make money. That's fine. We all want to make money. Turn out a better product. I don't know, man. What do you want from me, dude? It's not that complicated, dude. Play better ball. Have better officiating. I don't know. Get Chris Collinsworth out of the freaking booth so that I can stop listening to him glaze. Patrick Mahomes. Every single Sunday night, whether the chefs are on the TV or not. Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying, guys? It just gets so irritating, dude. It gets so irritating. They just kind of go on to just fluff out the article because, in today's modern media landscape, especially when you're a big talker like NBC, right? You got to have a bunch of bullshit fluff. The long and short of it is Jason Kelce's alluding to something that I think is needs to be addressed, dude. It needs to be addressed because there are two dichotomies here. There are two very, very different viewpoints of looking at it, right? There is look, man, I'm coming at it from the consumer aspect of it. I'm a fan. I'm a consumer of the NFL. I want to be able to watch the games and enjoy it. I don't want to be force-fed slop on a Thursday night that I have to pay a premium price for to watch in prime time on a premium channel. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to pay for Peacock to watch slop on a Christmas Day. Christmas Day, I want to spend with my family. I want to have some food, and I want to watch the freaking Christmas Story on reruns on TNT. You know what I'm saying? Tradition. NFL, go on now. Get up on here now. Go on now. No. Go on now. I don't need none of that, and I don't want to have to pay more money to consume a product. Dude, you were successful in your endeavors prior to this oversaturation and paywall nonsense, dude. Why did you have to get so greedy about it, dude? Why did you have to block it all off from the everyman, dude? Why did you have to price your fans out of everything, dude? Because you're dicks. Because you don't come at it from the consumer aspect of it. You don't care about the product, and you don't care about the consumer. And just look no farther than Travis Kelce's own statements regarding the Sunday night or the expansion of football outside of Sundays, the oversaturation. Look here. In 2011 or 2021, there was 211 Sunday games. Next year, there's going to be 197. So they've shaved almost 20 games, 15 games, a whole week. and distributed it out over various days. And look at Jason Kelce was like, hey man, Sundays, tradition, you go to church, you do you could, the family's more easily accessible. Of course, we want to destroy the traditional family, so of course we want to fracture it. We want people divided. If you're watching football on a Thursday night, well, you can't help Junior with his homework or whatever because he's too busy being in the digital sphere learning new goofy math, and you're too busy, clicking on your phone and setting your lineups on a Thursday night because you still got to come home from work and then do unpaid labor after work, and it's all this bullshit. And we're going, hey, the consumer. Well, then Travis Kelce says, I think it's awesome. I honestly do. As somebody who's played on Christmas, who's played on Christmas Eve, and who's played on Thanksgiving Eve and Thanksgiving, who's played a lot of awkward short week moments, I think it's fun. And I think that it's taxing. And I don't think it's as taxing as it may seem. Pray tell, what do you mean? Taxing to whom? Because it's the NFL. You're living out your dream. If there's a chance to play on an effing primetime game, which all of these one-off games, there aren't on Sundays, I'm effing excited. So excited for these opportunities because these are the opportunities where you really get to show yourself. He just gave us both birds, dude. Travis Kelce just looked at us right and said, no, it's not as taxing as it might seem. I'm fine. Fuck you. That's basically what Travis Kelce said. He goes, what are you talking about taxing? I'm fine. I like it. Go fuck yourself. Fucking butthole. He's a butthole, dude. Travis Kelce's a butthole. How we doing, everybody? Oh, what's up, Lion? So, what's up, Mike? How you doing this morning? Hey, man, appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much again for the opportunity last night, brother. I really do appreciate it. I thought we had a really nice conversation, dude. You know what I'm saying? Highlight game of the week, and there's too many, and the lineups are often snoozer. Yeah, dude. Monday night was like the ha-ha, you know what I mean? The send-off. And then you had all week long to get ready, dude. You know what I'm saying, bro? Should never play on Christmas. 100%, Jack. I promise you my wife will lose her shit if I'm trying to watch football on Christmas. Yeah, dude. You know what I'm saying, Raw? Bro, chill. But I won't miss a Lions game. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Ennis Rakestraw. Yes, Brent. I caught that joke. What's up, Raylan? How you doing, man? The new tradition of changing the team logos to rainbow colors this time next week. Dude, I totally forgot that's coming up, isn't it, dude? I totally forgot that's coming up. Oh, man. Here comes the Rainbow Brigade next week, guys. Here it comes. Rather, NFL focus on commitment to quality more than games or pushing controversial non-football stuff. Maybe fix the officiating. And you know what, Jack? To your point, dude, have you noticed what is the common trend amongst what we're saying about the NFL, about consumer goods, about employment, about everything? If everyone just held themselves to a cunt hair higher standard by the end of the month, nay, by the end of the week, we would have so many cunt hairs, you would have a whole bush, dude. We'd be so much farther down the road, dude. So much better off, dude. Family over football, 100%, Rick. Preach. Kelce got the backs and sold the backs. She is just a shill. Ah! Nice, Kane. Beautiful. I won't watch it Christmas Day, but we'll DVR it and watch on the 27th. Nice, Mom. Travis is a brainwashed puppet, 100%. What's up, Alpha Gridiron? I agree with you, 100%, dude. Travis is a brainwashed puppet. Lions Debate Talk, 100%. Look who is not lurking here now that Pebbles is live. No shit. No shit. Good point. Hey, you're right, dude. Yeah. No, you're right, dude. You're 100%, dude. I didn't even think about that. Kelsey's mad all the purebloods don't like the NFL. What's up, Sam? How you doing, man? Yeah, dude, you're right, though, bro. You're right. Travis Kelce's just a twat waffle, dude. He is like the most dick cheese motherfucker out there, dude. I don't like Travis Kelce. And the problem is I like tight ends, dude. I have no reason not to like Travis Kelce. He's just like this big goofer. You know what I mean? Like, he's like if Travis Kelce just had like Gomer Pyle's personality, he would be like one of my favorite players in the NFL. But sometimes I think Travis Kelce, like, his idol is Hassan Piker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's who he's like striving to be, is Hassan Piker, because I mean they're basically the same person. All right, so here we go, guys. We got 4 advantages that the Lions have in the Big 2-6. Big 2-6, 2-6-2-6. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We're here trying to hit 1,000 subscribers in the Big 2-6, guys. And we had a massive, massive uptick just yesterday. A big shout out to Lions Talk, Mike Kimber, Micro Mike, my guy, the OG, OG, helping out big time, dude. Really appreciate that, dude. Seriously, thank you so much for last night. It was a great opportunity. If you guys got time today, go and watch the live we did last night. It was a good time, dude. Talked about a lot of good stuff. We actually talked about some things here that I think actually, when I went through these articles and I looked at the time, look at this. This morning at 8 a.m., this morning at 7 a.m., this morning at 7 a.m. If you watch last night's episode on Lions Talk with myself and Micro Mike, one might think that these topics that I'm talking about today were previously discussed and then written about. I'm not saying that they're stealing from us. I'm just saying that we're all in the same, I think we're all on the same brainwave. I think we're all seeing the same stuff, dude. It feels kind of nice to have this oh yeah, you guys are all seeing the same shit too. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome, dude. So here's 4 advantages that could make a big difference in the Big 2-6, right? Obviously the season isn't quite underway, but tomorrow will be the first big step. We wrote a full story about this on Monday, but it's worth looking into to see how it affects the rest of the NFC North, blah, blah, blah. The Lions are playing some of the worst defenses in the league. That's what it was. Yes, as we know that is a big uptick. For the Lions, they play exactly one top 10 defense this season per DVOA. Oh, Jared Goff. We also play 12 games indoors. Oh, Jared Goff is going to throw for 5,000 yards. Oh, Jared Goff's going to throw for 50 touchdowns. Oh, Jared Goff. JG16 for MVP. It's going to, pretty much everyone else is 20th and below. Wow. Now, this is last year's standing, so things could change. Zebras could change their stripes. This is a big chance for a huge return to form for the Lions offense. Couple that with all the moves we made in free agency. Lil Spud and Mike Kafka. Part of me wonders if the reason that Dan Campbell hired Lil Spud and Mike Kafka was those are probably 2 guys that were just like, dude, I just want to coach the players that you have. I will do this shit for free. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, I ain't going to not pay you. That's how much you want to be. Like I'm willing to bet that was I bet you Mike McDaniel's drawing up all these wacky, crazy plays for the speed and the athleticism of players. But he's just like, yeah, I just, I want to do this, and I got to have my little cutoff pants, and I like my bling, And Lil Spud and Mike Kafka were like, well, I just want to coach these players. I'll do it for free. I'll do it for free, coach. I'll do it for free. I don't care. I'll do it for free. And he's like, all right, man, that's the type of mentality I want, man. Let's get after it. The Lions kind of have 2 bye weeks, which is kind of a beneficial thing. I know we've talked about it a lot, how much it sucks that the Lions don't have a bye week after the Germany trip. Thank you, Rod Wood. But they do have a 10-day break after Thanksgiving. That's right, that little mini itty-bitty bye. That's in addition to their standard 14-day-ish break that they get from their normal bye week. This is a big deal going into December when the games matter the most for playoff berths, seeding, and divisional reasons. Well, you know what, dude? Heading into December, it's going to be kind of like, well, just head that banner on over here to Ford Field. Go ahead and prop that bad boy right up there in the rafters right there. We already done wrap this division on up. Go ahead and see ya. Pack it in, fellas. We're walking into the playoffs, steamrolling everybody to the Super Bowl. Minimal weather drama. 2 players that this bodes really, really well for. Not only does it lean into the narrative that is for some reason constructed around Jared Goff not being able to play outdoors, which, I think everybody plays better indoors, especially at the quarterback position, especially when you're a high cerebral quarterback like Jared Goff. It gives you one less thing to have to worry about. And brake straws don't melt indoors. It bodes well for potential Ennis Rakestraw ascension. Yes, very good. Yes, the Lions do have a back-to-back outdoor games in the cold, Chicago and Green Bay, and that fact is probably going to land them in the disadvantaged section. No, it is not. We retired Aaron Rodgers in the cold with nothing to win for, my guy. Oh, no, this is not, no. This is not, that is a narrative for 31 other teams in the league, but not a Dan Campbell coach team. But beyond that, the Lions have 12 indoor games this season. Outside of that, at the end, The outdoor games they do have are the Bills in September, the Dolphins in Florida, and the Panthers in Carolina in October. Mostly warm weather areas. Yes, I think Florida is a relatively warm weather state. I guess they don't rule out snow in September in Buffalo, but it's probably rare. It could happen. What, week 2? A lot of unproven quarterbacks. The Lions have Tyler Shuck right off the bat. That will be his 10th career start in week 3. They have Geno Smith, who is good in Seattle, but not good in Las Vegas. They get Bryce Young after that. He appears to be turning the corner, but what would you bet on him right now? Jacoby Brissett. Old Brisket. After that. And Malik Willis, Jackson, Fart and Dart, Tua Tagovailoa, Cam Ward, and Kyler Murray. Jordan Love, Josh Allen, and maybe Giggle Williams. No, Giggle Williams is a fraud. And, of course, Drake May are the true test. Well, yes, Drake May might be a good quarterback. But I haven't seen any news if Will Campbell's arms have gotten any longer to protect him in the offseason. Last I knew, Will Campbell's still kind of struggling with them little bitty stubby little arms of his to keep Drake May upright. Not worried about Jackson, Fart and Dart, Tua Tagovailoa, none of that nonsense. No, not at all. No, I'm not. I really, guys, I am so high already on this Lions season. I am very confident in the moves that the Lions have made, both in the mental aspect of it, getting back to what they do. The coaching moves, I think, are going to be. I really think that when we look back at it, one of the biggest moves in the 2026 offseason, not just for the Detroit Lions, but for the NFL in general, was how Dan Campbell, yet again, revolutionized how coaches go about handling their business. He has done it with the 4th down attempts. No one does it more or better than Dan Campbell in the NFL, right? And that has upticked our times of possession, our attempts to have butts. What I say about Kirby Joseph getting interceptions, the more times your offense can have the ball, the more inflated your numbers are going to look. The more historically good your offense is going to be, the harder other teams are going to have to try and chase to keep up with you, the more advantages you can have. I do think that this step forward will be in line with the 4th down conversions, with the goal line attempts, with the hard nose, almost revolutionizing, getting back to running the ball in the modern era of the NFL where it's all built around the quarterback. I think if when Dan Campbell proves to be successful with the two-headed offensive coordinator attack with Drew Petzing and Mike Kafka, and I know that only one of them actually has the title, but let's be real. It is an absolute monster of mind melds in that coordination room for the offense. And when Dan Campbell proves it to be successful, I think you will start to see that being the standard operating procedure for successful teams in the NFL moving forward. Parity is the NFL. The NFL is absolute legal parity. If it's successful for one, we're going to try it with others. Look at how the Wildcat took off for like 3 years. Not saying it's going to be successful for everyone. It might be one of those things that only Dan Campbell can finagle. But hey, you know what? I think it's a smart move, and I think we're going to all look back at it and go, that was the best decision that the Lions made all of 2026 offseason. Even more so than the signing or drafting of Balake Miller. You know what I'm saying? How would it feel, Mad Hatter Nation? Sorry, I'm not trying to ignore you guys in the chat. Just trying to get through the articles here. You know what I'm saying? Butters! Yeah, Kane. Dude, I always, and it's no, you guys know I love Jared Goff. But that dude just reminds me of Butters Stotch. You know what I'm saying, dude? Just like so hard, bro. So hard, dude. Travis likes Taylor's hand up his bum. Yes. You know what? You can see it, too, with the way he flaps his gums, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's better get it right this year. They will, dude. They will, Sam. Don't worry. These boys at the Lions practice at some point this year. They need something special with legal BS. Oh, yeah, Rick. Hey, good luck today, dude, by the way. Goff can throw 5 touchdowns every game, but if the defense allows other teams to put up points, we are still Lions, you guys, we kind of been talking about this. I do think that we need to really hammer home this year. I think we're all on board with the ascension of the defense being the linchpin to unlocking our assault towards a Super Bowl, right? And what does that mean? There is an adage. Guys, there is an old saying that you need to lean into. Look, if we're going to be old school, smash and grab, biting kneecaps, one ass cheek and 3 toes, defense wins championships. Defense wins championships. Dan Campbell will now be able to allocate more time to aiding in the coaching and development of Kelvin Shepard with what I project to be a hybridization of the defense, the ascension of Jack Campbell. I got this feeling Kirby Joseph's going to be healthy all season long. I don't know why, but the last couple of days, I've been just kind of like meditating on the Lions, like trying to understand what's going on. Not understand what's going on, but just like trying to get a feel, trying to get that kind of like how last year I was like, man, Jack Campbell's about to ascend, and we were right. I'm trying to get a feel for what's going to happen. Like, I got this feeling Kirby's going to be absolutely fine and right back to form. He might miss, some plays, maybe a game or two, but Kirby missing 6 weeks in a row? I don't see that happening. I got this feeling that Kirby Joseph's going to come back and he's going to be somehow better than he was prior to the injury because he's going to be pissed because people were just bumping them gums. I think Kirby Joseph's going to be a player who could push for defensive MVP, only to be beaten out by Aiden Hutchinson with 26 sacks, you guys. I think our defense is going to be absolutely lights out this year, guys. I'm telling you, this is going to be a big year for Detroit. This is going to be a good year for Detroit, guys. I'm telling you, I got this feeling, man. I got this feeling. It's something, man. Something is different. There's not a lot of waz and pizzazz in the media. We're quiet. There's a quiet confidence. There's a tenacity that's just bubbling under the surface. This quiet, fiery rage that is just mad. That is mad and hearing everything that everybody's saying and seeing all the bullshit and just going, okay. You want it? Professional villains. You know what I'm saying? So Jordan Love and Williams like the cold. I take Goff over them in the cold. I take Goff over damn near everybody, dude. In fact, if I'm being honest, there's only one quarterback that I like genuinely appreciate his play style more, and I really like the creativity of Josh Allen. I really like Josh Allen, but that's just me. Now, I'm not saying that that's the rankings of quarterbacks. It's just my opinion. Goff and Allen are my two favorite quarterbacks in the league. You know what I mean? And then it goes like Baker Mayfield because I like the story. It's weird. The schedule is set up nice for Goff. Yes, it is. What's up, Motown? How you doing, man? I'll win the QB skills competition. Oh, wait, exactly. It wasn't close. Manu, the Wildcat QB. Brent, did you get up and enjoy a little your vitamins this morning, dude? Centerpiece for our defense is healthy. Imagine what they're going to do for Campbell. Our D-line is finally healthy since 23. Not only is our defense healthy and fully healthy going into the start of the season, I think people are really sleeping on what DJ Wonnum brings to the defense. Yeah, he's not flashy, but he's a very productive player for 3 solid downs. And then we made additions to our defense to bring in pass rush help. Tyleek's going to take a huge step forward, you guys. If Levi, guys, if you look at the metrics of Levi Onwuzurike, he's one of the best defensive tackles in the game when he's playing. Like, he's one of the best pass rushing defensive tackles in the game. If Levi can stay healthy, last year he's had the spinal fusion surgery on his back. Last year, I think it was a knee injury that took him out the whole season. Dude, if Levi can come back and be obviously with the players in space that we have along the defensive line, there is not a necessity for Levi Onwuzurike to come in and play 60+% snaps a game. Levi Onwuzurike can flex out and be an absolute luxury to our defensive front because he can play all along the defensive front. And when he's healthy, he's very successful. He's a very efficient player. I got a feeling that if Levi can stay healthy, he will be a wrecking force for us, dude. I think our defensive line is going to be significantly better than we have ever seen under the Dan Campbell Dan Campbell tenure, right? I think that Jack Campbell is going to prove that he was worth the extension and all the money, that last year wasn't a fluke. I do think Derek Barnes and DJ Reed are the two biggest you got to prove it to me this year players. I need to see those two guys perform and perform well. If not, we need to be having conversations at the end of next season on what it's going to cost. I think Reed is like $7 million to get out, and I'm pretty sure that Barnes is a relatively cheap out at the end of this season. I think. I'm not 100%. And we have to start having conversations about moving on and transitioning and figuring out what we're going to do there. I need Barnes and Reed to perform up to their contract play, right? I need them to perform well. I need Arnold to tape his hands up and keep those dirty little dick beaters off wide receivers, guys. But our defense is in prime position to ascend to a top 10 defense. If we are anything outside of a top 15 defense, I agree with Lions talk last night. Anything outside of a top 16 finish is a failure for our defense. You got to have a top 10 defense, got to have a top 5 defense if you want to win Super Bowl. I think there is a world when you look at the strength of schedule and the opponents that we have and the talent that we have on offense and defense. There is, and it's not that far-fetched of a world to think that the Lions could have the number 1 and number 1 offense and defense in the NFL. I might be a little too high on my own supply, but there is a possibility for that to have happen. Barnes is just average. Reed, I'm hoping, is just the injury. Yeah, Cody, I talked about that last night a little bit. A hamstring injury is really going to hamstring a corner moving through the whole season. So I'm chalking last year up to injury. I really am, dude. I think Reed was playing well before the injury, and then to come back from a hamstring midseason. We see guys get hamstrings in training camp, and it retards their development all regular season. It effectively washes out the whole season because hamstring just pops up at the worst possible time, and it's the most inconvenient thing. You know what I'm saying? We just need to not get plagued by injuries this year. Yes, Rick, a healthy team will go far. I hated Baker in Cleveland. Now I like him in Tampa. Yes, Brent, I couldn't stand Baker Mayfield. The only reason I like Baker Mayfield is because he just refused to give up. I love an underdog, man. What can I say? I love an underdog story, dude. Sadly, great defenses and low-scoring offenses isn't going to get the NFL numbers they want. So mediocre defense is recommended because of the league. Yeah, good point. Good point, dude. Good point. Good point. A lot of fantasy guys are saying the Lions should have offered Ben the head coaching job, saying Dan isn't it. Well, a lot of fantasy guys don't know what they're talking about. Because Ben Johnson is Matt Patricia 2.0. All right, guys. So who are we looking at, huh? Who are we looking at during OTAs? Drop some comments, guys. Who are you looking at during OTAs? What are you? Obviously, OTAs. Look, OTAs is kind of like you're reading the menu. You know what I mean? You're not quite sitting down to dinner, but you're skimming to kind of see, hey, what might sound good. You haven't even ordered drinks yet. You know what I'm saying? Like you've merely been sat. You took a sip of your water, right? Sip of the water was the draft, and now OTAs. And you're just kind of perusing the menu. What looks good? Huh? What sounds good tonight? What sounds good? What sounds good on the menu? What are you looking at on the menu in OTAs specifically? And it can be, dude, if you want to go chicken tenders and fries and say I'm looking at Larry Borum and Balake Miller, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I personally, again, I think that's just more of a chicken tenders and fries response. I said it last night. There are 2 players that I want to watch to see how they're deployed, how they're utilized, kind of how they match up in an NFL speed organization, and that is Keith Abney and the Sheriff, Kendrick Law. I think the Sheriff. Fellas. Pretty soon we're going to be calling him Khalif Raymond, and he's been replaced by the new sheriff in town. Dude, Law's going to be sweet. Abney's going to be sweet. I want to see how they deploy him. I want to see how and have they can they hang? How's the chemistry? It's OTAs, guys. It's not practice. There's no pads, but it will be good to start to look over the menu. Man, I could go for a little bit of this. I could go for a little bit of that. Man, that sounds good. What about you? What are you looking at? What sounds good to you? You know what I'm saying? Let me know down in the chat because there's a lot of avenues we could go here, guys. And let's just be first and foremost. The most important thing, guys, is organized team activities is the first step towards the regular season. Oh, football. Manu McNeil, Tyleek Reed, TA Law. Yeah, I would say, Ross, you're just kind of watching everybody. Rodriguez as a rotational piece. Recent draft picks, 2-3 picks progression. Hell yeah. I'm looking for a true legit one corner to show up and proclaim he's the CB1. Hell yeah, guys. Okay. You're the first person I've ever heard give Levi his props. Dude's a stud and he can just stay on the field. Yeah, dude, Motown. The thing with Levi is he's been hurt so much, but if you actually look at his production, the dude's fucking he's ridiculous. Like, Levi Onwuzurike is absolutely ridiculous when he's on the field. It's just, availability is the best ability. Spinal fusion surgery, last year was supposed to be kind of a bigger year for him, and then the knee, and it just sucks. It just sucks. It just sucks donkey water for him, dude. Because when he plays, he's fucking sick, dude. You know what I'm saying? Ben leaving no relevance to our struggles last season. We had a top 3 offense. The defense was the biggest problem. Yes, sir, Rick. Yeah, 100%. That stadium will play breaking the law when law. That's awesome, guys. All right, so after a month of off-season workouts, the Lions finally begin their OTAs this week, tomorrow. The difference between the two activities is both subtle and important. The previous workouts have been mainly focused on conditioning, rehabbing, and getting in some individual position drills. There haven't been any offense versus defense drills, one-on-ones, or anything that you'd normally see during the training camp. OTAs represents the final phase, phase 3 of the offseason. While shoulder pads and live contact are still prohibited, teams can finally go 7-on-7 or 11-on-11. That means it's time, the first time entire units will be working together against a common opponent. It's the beginning of real football. Here is the Lions' schedules for OTAs. Obviously tomorrow, we're going to have a couple days, the 27th through the 29th. Then we pick back up for the second week, June 2nd through the 4th. Final finishing off June 9 through the 11th. And just remember that June 8th, we will be transitioning to Hat and Beard Night Show from 7 to 8 p.m. So we will be recapping the final week of OTAs in prime time. Make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel and your notification bell is turned on, because you'll be coming snooping around. I know there'll be a few of you guys, right? I know there'll be a few of you guys. That's fine. It's gonna be 10 a.m. You're gonna be going, where is he? And then you're gonna get that notification about 7 p.m. You're gonna go, what the hell's going on? I mean, I told you guys for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, we're gonna be switching up, going to nights here. We're going to nights because, I'm making the switch, big switchery dickery do. Media typically gets to watch 1 practice per week, so expect coverage for 3 practices over the next 3 weeks. Detroit will also hold a 2-a-day mandatory minicamp the final week of OTAs, and reporters should be on hand for both of those sessions. That would be June 17th and 18th. The Lions will enter OTAs with plenty of questions and intrigue on both sides of the ball. So today's question of the day, and if you're watching this afterwards, comment. Guys, you can comment on the live show afterwards. If you're watching this post-live show, I don't mind. I try to engage with you guys as best as I can. Comment down below. Let's kind of boost us up in the old algorithm there, you know what I'm saying? Which Lions players are you most interested in hearing about during OTAs? All right, here we go. This author's answer, who wrote this? Jeremy Reisman? Jeremy Reisman. Damn, I am good at this shit. There are a lot of possible answers. For most years, the rookie class wouldn't be that interesting because rookie minicamp would precede OTAs. But with no rookie minicamp this year, we've yet to see all 7 draft picks compete as a Lion. Seeing if Balake Miller will jump right into the starting lineup will be interesting to see, and eyes will be on Derek Moore to see if he can make an immediate impact. But the rookie class is too easy of an answer for that question. Let's dig a little deeper. Maybe you're more interested in this year's free agency class. But only Cade Mays, DJ Wanham, and Isaiah Pacheco are likely to step into significant roles right out of the gate. I will interject one name there. Am I the only one who's just a little fascinated with Peyton Turner? Just a little fascinated with Peyton Turner? I know it's never really worked out for him. He's missed a lot of time. But, if we hadn't signed Wanham and just signed Turner, everyone would be going, oh, it's that Brad Holmes getting an injured guy. He's just seeing if there's anything left in the tank, kicking the tires, to which we are. But we don't have to put the pressure on him because we also went out and got Wanham. And then we drafted Derek Moore. So I'm interested to see what kind of deployment we get out of Peyton Turner. I do think there will be a nice little competition between Turner and Ahmed Hassanin for that, 4th spot. That last spot in the defensive end room for the the active roster. I do think Hassanin has some tenacity in him. I think he's got that dog in him. If he can polish it up during the offseason, yeah. I think you will see an interesting competition there. Or maybe you're more interested in seeing how year 2 players have progressed. Players like Tyleek the Freak Williams, Tater the Michigan Mullet Man Ratledge, and Isaac Tesla will be crucial for the team's success in 2026. I am a little nervous for some reason about Tesla. I don't know why. It's not that I don't think he can handle. I don't know how much are we going to run him? How much deployment, how much run is he going to get? Is he going to be the cardio kid out there just running routes? What role does he fit? Is he coming in to be Josh Reynolds? Is he coming in to be Khalif Raymond? What kind of, obviously he's good in the red zone, 6 touchdowns last year, right? But, I think we all kind of expected a little bit of an uptick last year with his production, even though it was his rookie year, when Laporta went down. And then when Brock Wright went down. I'm not saying that Tesla is going to have a bad year. I don't know why. I don't feel as confident about his production as I do, say, Kirby Joseph coming back. You know what I mean? It's nothing against him. It's just when you look at all of the mouths to feed, it could come down to, hey, we are running the ball so damn good that Goff's numbers regress simply because we have no need to pass the ball. And if that's the case, if Goff's numbers regress, everybody else is going to regress, right? Which means then expectations of Tesla might not be met. But it's not a bad thing, It's all in how you kind of look at it. However, my picks are Lions cornerbacks. I'm fascinated to see how TA, DJ Reed, and even Ennis the Penis Rakestraw breaks like a straw will look this week and beyond. All three have varying levels of disappointment so far, mainly due to injuries, but they've all shown promise at times, except for Rakestraw. He hasn't really never been on the field. Nothing they do this week is likely to remove any healthy skepticism, but it would sure be nice to see them compete at a high level against the Lions' talented receiving core. Detroit's coverage needs big improvement in 2026, and their strategy at cornerback appears to be letting their young players compete. If Reed and Arnold can prove they are worth the investments, Detroit's defense should take a major step in the Big 2-6. And if Rakestraw can stay healthy and excel when called upon, suddenly the Lions secondary would have some young, promising depth. Yes, they really would, which is kind of, when you look at the players that we brought in, obviously Mays is a starter, Wanham, Pacheco. But guys like Scruggs, guys like Peyton Turner, guys like Roger McCreary, the Bud Clark, these moves that we made. Yeah, Bud Clark, right? Chuck Clark? I don't know. The moves that we made, Christian Eisen, Juice Scruggs, Ben Barch, I think Brad is preparing for I am sick of this injury shit. I want to have as much talented depth on my initial 53-man roster as I can. I am tired of going to the practice squad. Give me as many talented depth pieces as I can jam on this roster. Yeah, some of these guys aren't starters, right? But they're a lot better than the reserves that we had, right? I think the moves that we've made shows that the depth is strong on our team, dude. I think Brad Holmes learned his lesson. How we doing, chat? Vanillatron. That's awesome, Motown. Vanillatron? Bro, that is so funny. Oh my God. That's dope. I think we walk from Levi and shows injuries. He's not going to be reliable. That's fair, dude. And it is unfortunate. Postponed again, Rick? Dude, that's so lame. You better tell them that I'm getting sick and tired of them stressing me out, dude. The killer from Cart? Is that how you pronounce it? The Egyptian Sactician, the Motor City mummy, the assassin himself. I like that, dude. I like the hammer. What's up, Elliot? How you doing? I'm actually excited to see him do anything. Tesla has just been shielded and underutilized, kind of like Jameson was earlier without the legal. Tesla is good. I don't think Tesla is. I think Tesla is very talented. But you know what? You're right, dude. Yeah, I'll give you that. He's kind of been shielded and underutilized. I'll give you that. Yeah, and it's not. It's not a negative. It's just when you got Amon-Ra, J-Mo, and Laporta, and Gibbs, and all these guys, there's a lot of mouths to feed. So I give you that, yeah, for sure. I like that. I really like that. Shielded and underutilized. I like that a lot. That is a really good way of phrasing it. He's our 50-50 guy. He's the wide receiver that can fight for a ball and get it. J-Mo, I think J-Mo can kind of compete a little bit. J-Mo's got some jumps. He's got some ups, dude. Or basically give the parents a couple of shovels. They're digging a deep hole. A lot of weapons on offense. A refresh O-line is great. Yes, it is, dude. Having that depth on our offensive line is very, very nice, dude. It's very, very nice, dude. Okay, less about not picking individual stat lines. I want to see overall team success. Preach, dude. Thank you, Raw. 100% nail on the head. I appreciate it, bud. Been calling Vanillatron since his days at Arkansas. Hell yeah, dude. That's an awesome nickname. Killer from Cairo. I just hit the wrong button with my fat thumbs. Oh, Cairo. Gotcha. Hell yeah. Dude, I like that Killer from Cairo. Successful run game will open up the pass game. Tesla will have a good year. Yeah, I hope he does. I like Isaac Tesla. I just, I don't know what expectations to put on him, I guess. How's that? Because, what do you have? Call it 2.5, 230 some, 250 some yards last year. The big number's the 6 touchdowns, right? Like that seems a little bit of a overproduction of touchdowns in comparison to yardage, right? So that, to your point, he's a 50-50 guy, more of a red zone threat, Well, are you guys expecting him to hit that 6 touchdown mark? And what kind of yardage this season are you looking for Tesla? If we were to succeed, what is the goalpost for us to say Isaac Tesla had a successful season and built on last year's? Same number of touchdowns, double up the yardage. Same number of yards, double up the touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like, well, what are you looking for? What are you guys looking for? Raw JMO for sure. I don't know, man. I think JMO has a tendency to get kind of aggressive with his catches sometimes. Tesla has a lot to live up to with 2 third-round picks giving up for it. Yeah, that's true, Alpha. That's true. I think you're being misled about JMO. Sorry. Yeah, to be fair, Raw has all the data on JMO. 700 yards for Tesla. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. 700. I'd put man. Because what you're doing here with me is I'm trying to figure over 6 touchdowns and more yardage. He will get more passes thrown his way. Come on, camera. Don't do this to me. Come on, camera. Camera. Don't. Thank you. If he's utilized more. All right, so I will put 700 yards as a ceiling for Tesla. I'm happy with Tesla going 505 touchdowns. I think if Tesla hits 505 touchdowns on like 30, 40 catches, I think that is a productive and ascending piled up year. When you look at, Laporta should be healthy. Laporta's a rock star. Amon-Ra's a rock star. J-Mo's a rock star. You know what I mean? There's a lot to go around. Does the sheriff come in and start sneaking away, a couple targets a game, steals, 20, 30 catches over the year? You know what I'm saying? What could happen there? Only been around 53 years watching wide receiver J-Mo's speed, not much else sloppy route running. Body catcher does not high point the ball, has trouble with drops. I think J-Mo's come around quite a bit more on his route run. I don't know, man. I think J-Mo evolved a lot last year in his route running. I think J-Mo's gotten a lot sharper in his cuts. But I will give you that he's a body catcher, because when I was thinking, I'm like, yeah, he kind of does fight for catches. I'm like, but he's always like when he's in traffic, he really bodies it. Yeah, you're right on that. He does I see a lot of him catching it in his body, kind of bringing it in with the arms, not grabbing it with his hands. That's a good point. I'll give you that a little bit. Yeah, for sure. I'll give you that one a little bit. But I have come around on J-Mo quite a bit. I'm pretty over the moon about him. I think J-Mo hits 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns relatively easy this year. We're just going to kind of mimic last year's yardage. If J-Mo goes 1,600 and Amon-Ra goes 1,300 and Laporta goes a K, then you're at what? 4K right there. You're chipping in 5 to 7 with Tesla. Couple hundred between the backs. JG16 for MVPs at 5K. You know what I'm saying? It isn't that hard with the weapons that we have, with the rebuild offensive line, with Petsing, with Kafka. It's gonna be fascinating to see you guys. Probably gonna have to bail on this story just because we're running out of room, and you guys are running out of time. We'll talk about Keith Abney a lot more during the OTAs and stuff. You guys know how I feel about Abney, dude, and I'm glad to see that everyone else is starting. The 20 man starting to hype him up. I know that Lions Talk. We had a nice conversation. I think he might be even more high on Abney than I am, which I didn't know that was possible to do. I got really. I've been getting like I've just been smoking a lot of Abney over here, dude. Just getting high as fuck on him, dude. You know what I'm saying? So, how we doing, chat? We'll just kind of finish up here. He's gotten better in route running, but still not one that would be a great route runner. St. Brown is an elite route runner. Okay, yeah, that's he. At least I don't know. I don't know. Is he as good a route runner as St. Brown? No. Has he gotten better? Yes. Tesla high points, runs routes better and not much slower. I do like the jumping, catches that I've seen out of Tesla. He's kind of a human highlight reel, but I'm very biased towards JMO. I'm not going to lie, Motown. I'm a big JMO fan. And I have been since we drafted him. I'm not going to lie. I've always just subtly been rooting for JMO. I really think that JMO, like, if he wants to finish off on a storybook turnaround, dude, kind of how he came in and then, suspended and, just kind of underutilized to begin with and slowly kind of piling up production. I think JMO needs to focus on off-the-field activities and do everything he can to become the Lions nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. I think that'd be absolutely sweet, dude. I think that'd be the coolest thing for him to do. Does JMO have super elite speed? Yep. Yes, he does. He sure does. And look at what Tyreek Hill did with his elite speed in Miami for 1 year. Dude, they had the most separation on routes for like 7 straight weeks. It was absolutely ridiculous because they were just running mad wicked motion with Tyreek all the time. And if you want to know more about the Miami Dolphins, might I encourage you to go to check out Tub Frog's video on the Miami Dolphins that he just released. It's a really good video, a little bit longer than some of our content that we consume here. So if you want to passively watch that in your own time, tell him Hattenbeard sent you that way. Tub Frog is a good content creator. I like the videos that he does. So, well, fellas, we have reached basically the 11 o'clock hour. So we're gonna go ahead and start to wind her on down. Get to do something today. Gonna write up a 2-week notice and go submit that to my job. That'll be cool. That'll be interesting. I could so easily make JMO the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Yeah, you really could, dude. Man, I wish my camera would stop farting around, guys. What is going on, camera? Come on. Reach. Come on, camera. Hang on, let's see if we can. There we go. Just had to fart around with it a little bit. There we go. Doop, 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 doop. Spend the next 2 weeks playing tricks on your lame boss. I'm not going to be doing much. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to be doing a whole hell of a lot. And he's off this week. My actual boss is off this whole week, so I only have to deal with that fuckhead for 1 week, dude. And it's going to be nice. Like I said the other day, it's scary and exciting. We'll talk about it more. What do you do for work? What did I do? I was a building engineer, and now I'm going to be the senior electrical technician for a nanogrid startup company. Just whatever. just some cool stuff. Yep, Mr. Detroit's got it, actually. That's the truth. That's actually what it is right there. Mr. Detroit City called it. Yep, that's actually what I'm doing. Showing pictures of my feet. You know me, fellas, just selling pictures of my feet, but if you pay a premium price, I'll send you a picture of my chocolate starfish. I'm just kidding. That's gross. That's disgusting. You guys are savages. What the hell? You perverts. Bunch of dirty-minded fuckers. You guys are gross. All right, fellas. Somebody's burning something outside. All right, we're going to go ahead and get up on out of here today. Try and have yourself a good rest of the day. Enjoy Tuesday. And just remember, tomorrow starts OTAs, guys. Imagine Sports Talk. Up top, webcam showing Paul's dual income at the same time, dude. I could be talking about footballs while showing my footballs. Is that what you're saying? All right, fellas. Have a good rest of your day. We'll catch you tomorrow. I've been Hattenbeard. You've been Attentive Audience. Until next time, bonga, bonga. Actually, check this out. I'm James. I've been James from the Hattenbeard Show. You've been an Attentive Audience. Until next time, bonga, bonga. Frig off.